Hello, I'm Kads, and welcome to today's video. So we are in the midst of the Demon Slayer Titan event, and it has come to one of the somewhat required summoning events, the Summon Rush associated with it. So we are going to be chasing some of the Titan event points in said Summon Rush. If you are curious how far along I am in the Demon Slayer Titan event, we're about a third of the way, so 650 points, so decently done. I guess we're through milestone 3. And we're going to get a big chunk of points today, which should get us somewhere in the 800-ish range. And yeah, so we're well on our way. Again, my goal, for those curious, is to get all the way out to milestone 5. So that is the plan. So I am on track for that. I have yet to skip an event to date, but that is just my usual approach to these Titan events that allows me the flexibility to skip stuff that comes near the end in case it's more of a surprise, or if there's some deck of fate that I anticipate that I typically don't like participating in regardless. So let's take a look at the Summon Rush. In this case, this is basically like on par with a fusion, so I can understand if that is a deterrent for a lot of people. However, you can walk away with at least a decent amount of points, 80 points, if you just go out to 1750, which is relatively cheap. Could be 3 sacreds and some mystery shards, or honestly that could be entirely mystery shards. So just again, keep that in mind. Don't forget that you can always use mystery shards. They are 1 point a pop, but you can use them to fill in for stuff like this if you just need a little bit of points, especially if you're going for milestone 4 or milestone 3. But in my case, we are going to be going all the way out to 3500, meaning we're going to have to pull 7 sacreds worth of points today. However, we're also going to get some energy along the way, which is nice. A legendary tome, which is different. Usually those are like, above and beyond, the minimum here, so that's kind of nice. And then an immortal soulstone to boot. Popping over to the portal, let's take a look at the overall shard count on my account at the moment. 584 on the ancients, 270 on the voids, 28 on the primals, and then 55 on the sacreds, which of course we'll be dipping into today. In terms of the progressive chance event, I guess the theme here is poisoners, and as you might remember or might recall, as I mentioned, I've added Balar the Lost to my wish list. He's like basically tied for number 1, i.e. a poison exploder champion, so of course we're going to be selecting him. However, I do also happen to have all of the other 4 legendaries by happenstance, so I would have picked him regardless, but nonetheless, he is one that I do want to have because I am antsy to get a poison exploder on my team just to have some fun in Dragon with that type of composition. But I digress. Aside from that, the epic I've chosen is Delaja here because I just want to empower her. Her and Ashima are both Lady Mikage epic, so if they're one of the 2s that you're looking for, that could be helpful. And then Steel Skull for me is already +4 empowered, so I don't really need duplicate copies of him. So those are the reasons for my selections here. Now, what also makes this particular session somewhat interesting is that if we check on my Mercy tracker here, which will be linked in the description box down below if you'd like a copy of this for yourself, is that we are not in Mercy at the moment, but we most certainly will be by pulling 7 sacreds. So honestly, ideally, we don't get a legendary. I know that seems kind of crazy to say, but I typically still put value in the POGO event, Sacred POGO, pull one, get one, for those who don't know. And I'd rather get 2 legendaries for the price of 1 if I can, versus kind of rolling the dice on a random 10x, which has like a 6.5% chance of proccing if we get a legendary at all. So I'm more in favor of not getting a legendary, but going 6 sacreds deep into Mercy, it's a crapshoot. We could hit it, we could not hit it, we don't really know, but we'll find out, I guess, here shortly. So as usual for this, we are going to be focusing our RNG on the selected champions. However, like I mentioned, I am more in favor of not getting a legendary because I anticipate there's going to be a Sacred Pogo sometime soon. It's been a while since the last one. They're usually, not exactly once a month, but maybe once every 5 to 6 weeks, give or take. There's no predictable pattern to that I've seen, but nonetheless, that is kind of the general trend. But I do expect to get some epics, so duplicate epics for empowerment will also be useful. So without further ado, let's get right into the shard pulls. We've got tons of space, we've got a decent amount of cash, and honestly, we want some bad luck. All epics, that's what we want to see here. 7 sacreds. Here we go. Sacred number 1 is going to be an epic, and from here on out we are in Mercy, so the odds are ever increasing to get a legendary, but hopefully we get unlucky so that we're in a setup for a Pogo event. Skull Crusher, one of the OG's AoE counterattack champions aside from himself, really good if you pull him early on to set you up for a pretty solid Demon Lord Clan Boss team. And beyond that, in the end game, he does come in handy for certain stages in the Curse City for Fire Knight, depending on the capabilities of your team. And speaking of another Fire Knight champion for Curse City, Fenshi. He's kind of the Force Affinity Allure light, so to speak, but he does have this turn meter suppression thing on a 2-turn cooldown here, 3-time hitter. Each hit has a 75% chance when booked to reduce the target's turn meter by 50%. This could be substantial. It could reduce the turn meter by half, 45%, or it could miss on all 3 hits, which is unlikely, but still possible. So that's why I say Allure light. He can work though, but you have decreased speed on the A1, another triple hitter, and then a double hitter here that can deal deal a decent amount of damage, especially more if there are poisons on the target. So good in general for just breaking Fire Knight's shield, but also decent depending on affinity. Number 3 here, Hoffaries the Tusked. Honestly, I do want more copies of him because he is a reviver for Skinwalkers, and he is the one I primarily use or have been using for hard mode faction wars. So having him have more stats is good. But yeah, the AoE revive here, 2 random allies, and then also increased stack, increased crit rate, which is not as useful as in terms of buffs. But hey, if you don't have it on your team, it definitely helps more than it hurts. So there you go, Sacred, or that's Sacred number 4. Here we go, Sacred number 4, another epic. Okay, so far we're on track. Chonaru, terrible epic. Not much to say about her. I think she's one of the like random promo code champions that they offer for new players, but definitely don't want to pick her if you have the choice. Zelota, again, kind of faction wars-ish champion. He can shield, continuous heal, so he can be a little bit of a healer. But granted, it's on a 4-turn cooldown, which is kind of a bummer. And then he has an AoE sleep, which is nice. But, you know, it kind of depends if that is helpful to you, because AoE sleep can easily be disrupted by just, you know, waking up the champion. So that was Sacred number 5, I believe. So Sacred number 6, here we go. Can we continue? Yes, another epic. We need one more epic, and then we are perfectly set up for a POGO event, which is going to be pretty substantial. Sinesha, popular-ish, old school with a blender team. She has this hit paired with Skullcrown, can do a decent amount of damage if you blow her to the 9th with attack. Note that she is a support while Skullcrown is an attack-based nuker, so she's going to hit a lot less hard. She also has this cool heal where you equalize HP up to the person with the highest HP. So again, for faction wars, put her in a stun set, AoE on the A1, and also she can serve as a healer. Any single target lockout to boot. Last Sacred, here we go. Come on, epic. We want to see an epic. Yes, sweet. And then this is Maeve? Yeah, Maeve. Cool. Maeve, pretty much useless, but I believe she is empowerment for Jamarza, the friends epic that you can unlock if you have referrals and whatnot. So I do happen to have, so this will be empowerment for Jamarza. Now I totally understand if it does seem like this is some sort of reverse psychology thing, but I did genuinely actually want to get 7 epics here because now we are, I guess I can pull it up, but we are -6. There are 6 Sacreds deep into Mercy now, which is a great and excellent position for a POGO event. So that could mean that within the next like 5 to 7, it would be very easy to proc a legendary and get 2 legendaries for the price of 1 in a future POGO event. So that's a very, very strong position to be in. And on top of the fact, like I mentioned, there's a 6.5% chance that even if we did get a legendary, it would have been Balar the Lost, which is very, very unlikely. 97% or 94% chance that it's anything else. So I'm not banking on those kind of random, really, really low odds. But nonetheless, the Titan or the Summon Rush is complete for the purposes of getting all the way out to 3,500. So let's collect all of the Titan event points. So this is another 200 points in said Titan event. So let's double check that one, or just take a look at that one as well. So yeah, big chunk of points there. This is how they always do it. There's always a large chunk of points in the summoning events, of course, because that's what they want people to do: spend money and or just use their shards, spend the resources. But yeah, 800, well on the way. So basically by the end of this week, I should be at 1,000, and then the next week coming up should be the last remainder of the 500-ish points. So well on our way, well on track towards getting that. So yeah, that is going to do it for today's video. We're going to keep this one pretty short and sweet. All goals were achieved today. So we got some duplicate epics for empowerment, and we preserved our Mercy such that we're set up for a future Sacred POGO event. So win-win all around. Let me know in the comment section down below if you were also pulling for this particular Summon Rush. I do know that a lot of people are more so going for Milestone 4, meaning that you probably don't have to participate in this one, especially because it's just a raw deal compared to last weekend where it was 2x Ancients, which is just kind of a general good time to pull, on top of it being the end of the Thole Infusion if you were going for that. But this one's kind of a one-off random progressive chance Summon Rush, so I anticipate that a lot less people are participating. But again, let me know about that in the comment section down below. As always, if you did enjoy this video, then be sure to hit that like button down below. It really does help out the channel, and feel free to hit the subscribe button down below as well, if and only if you are enjoying the content on this channel for more content just like this one in the future. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.